Yo, today we are back with the Reddit stories. This one is going to be, woman, what's your most pathetic thing a man has done to try to pick you up? Let's get into it.
Women of Reddit, what was the worst thing a man has ever told you in an attempt to hit on or flirt with you? My boyfriend was unalived in a car wreck by a drunk driver 1 year ago.
Damn.
He had to be cremated. I'm in college, and at the time I was walking across campus when his mother texted me that the cremation had been done. I fell to the ground in tears. A guy came up to me,
You couldn't even be there for the cremation yourself. I'd be hurt personally.
me up off the ground and hugged me. I just cried into his shoulder and told him what had just happened, saying something like, "My boyfriend died." He said, "Well, do you want a new one?" We're really starting off strong, aren't we? I guarantee
I'd file a police report against that man, personally. Why the fuck would you say that? What possessed you to think, you know what would be game? I know her boyfriend just died, but I'm gonna shoot my shot immediately. Girls love that shit. No. I'm surprised she ain't slap you.
this man thought that he absolutely destroyed it with that line. Yeah, you destroyed something, buddy, but not the intended result, I don't think. Story 2. When I was on holiday, a man was hitting on me and told me he could sense that my plane I was getting home the next day would crash, and I should stay there with him. I was 14, and he was in his 30s or 40s. Story 3.
That's the end of the story? She's a victim. What? He was in his 30s or 40s, and she was 14. That's less than double. I mean, no, that's more than double. Oh my gosh.
He told
bro.
me that we were destined to be together because in several previous lifetimes we'd been teen lesbian lovers in an alternate universe where anime was real. He insisted on calling me by my true name, the name of some crappy anime character he liked, and he would even correct my school papers with the true name. He had a notebook full of stories and drawings about our future life together, and he'd picked out names for our children and designed my wedding dress. This was all after we had talked to each other casually a few times in class. I feel like age is really important here. I need to know if man can grow out of this or if it's too late for him. I need to. This scares me.
What is wrong with these niggas, bro? What is with these stories and them finding the most heinous nigga out there? Like, where do you find these men? Like, what the fuck? I can't even explain how weird this actually is, bro.
I am afraid. Story 4. Maybe not the worst, but certainly the weirdest. Some guy came up to me at work and started quizzing me. "What's your name? Do you have a boyfriend? Do you think I'm cute?" The direct approach. I assume it has worked for him in the past or something. But then he asked if I have any kids. I said no. This seemed to derail his train of thought completely. He said he couldn't believe it. He had never met a girl your age who didn't have kids, and he kept following me around repeating it. "Seriously, you don't have any kids? You're not messing with me?" I escaped into the warehouse and didn't come out until I was sure he was gone. Story 5. I had a guy at a bar notice I was Italian, and then proceed to tell me how great Mussolini was, before asking me how I would feel about a naked 30-year-old man lying on top of me for 30 seconds. I think it was supposed to be a pickup line. This man is
that wasn't supposed to be a pickup line. He was basically saying, "Hey, I'm a criminal. I'm about to make you a victim." Like, what? How's that any type of
absolutely hilarious, although not in the way I think he intended. That naked 30-year-old man lying on top of you for 30 seconds, I could see that someone trying it on Tinder or something, you know? In person, I probably wouldn't. Just me. The Mussolini thing, though, that's crazy. That's twisted. Story 6. You look like a less attractive version of X celebrity. It was online, and when I told him I didn't think it was a great compliment, he messaged back with a giant essay about how I was a harlot and deserved to get assaulted.
What?
A literal essay. Paragraphed. It was amazingly insane. Story 7. I'm Japanese and this white guy was hitting on me and was trying to speak Japanese to me. I guess he thinks it would give him brownie points and I wouldn't notice his weeaboo aura. He then tried to correct my Japanese. I was speechless. I pretty much just got up and left without another word. Yes, Ohio goimasu to you too. Story 8. I was at a bar with one of my friends and the guy sitting next to me taps me on the shoulder and says that the bartender accidentally gave him an extra drink and he wanted to know if I wanted it. I told him, no thanks, I have a drink. He told me he didn't want to waste his money since he was charged for it. So I told him to give it to one of his friends next to him. He then laughed and said, "Why won't you take it? It's not like I'm going to assault you or anything. I promise it's not drugged." Yeah, we left quickly. Man, something...
Like, that was a clean line at first, too. It wasn't like it was like any of the weird ones that we just listened to. But the fact that you're going to come back, rebound it with I didn't drug it. I'm not gonna assault you. Why? Why would you say that, bro?
I have a feeling, okay? I have a feeling that this guy was trying to be smooth with it. This guy ordered the extra drink on purpose to give to her, and I kind of believe him he didn't drug it. But you don't really want to do it like that, man. It's always better to ask if you can buy someone a drink and let them see the bartender give it to them, or you. As a woman, or really anyone at a bar, do not accept a drink from a stranger. Not worth the risk, ever. Story 9. Worst goes to a guy I'd met once at a party, and had run into again at another party. He said, "Last time we talked, I told you to go get me a beer and you said no. Maybe once I give you some of this dong, you'll do as you're told." Funniest/most awkward goes to a coworker who
I'm not even gonna talk on that one, bro.
figured out I loved video games, specifically
What?
Borderlands 2. He told me that I was an orange gun, basically legendary. Like, that's not even the highest rank, but thanks, bruh. Story 10. One guy in his 40s saw me at my grandparents' house and decided to try complimenting me by complimenting my kid and how polite he was. When he was informed that the kid was my brother and that I was 12, he doubled down, arguing that 12 was a perfect age to have
How
kids.
do you get a 12-year-old and a parent mixed up? How? Like, how old does this 12-year-old have to look? She has to look at least in her 30s for you to think that that was her kid. Okay.
And progressively got creepier until I bolted back in the house. But most recently, I had a guy go on a 2-hour rant about feminism and the Smash Bros scene. I did not ask for this topic, by the way. He 100% brought it up. I might have appreciated the effort/point he was trying to make, that he respected women, if he hadn't interrupted me every time I tried to talk, blatantly talked over me several times, and ignored pretty much anything I said, including numerous attempts to turn the topic of conversation to literally anything else. It was honestly impressive how he managed to go on this massive, completely random, "I respect women" rant while blatantly disrespecting me. See, OP, that's where you're mistaken. He respects women. He doesn't respect you. On a serious note, though, I just expect nothing else from someone who wants to talk about Smash Bros and feminism together. Unprompted, that is. I'm sure that actual conversation could be had there. Maybe. I don't see the line, but maybe someone could. But bringing it up unprompted is wild. Story 11. You know, your pockets are hanging out of your shorts. That's usually pretty promiscuous, but I like that. Was with a few friends and
Isn't
one of
that the thing that you do, like, if you like dudes, like, and you're a dude? I don't know.
told him to get lost as soon as I turned around to ignore him. Another time, I worked at Walmart. Twice, I came out to my car with a note. The first time, the first note stated that I'm very beautiful and that he's in love and to take me to coffee. But his wife beats him, so it would have to be a secret. The second note...
Nigga, tell the cops. Why are you writing notes? You need to be writing a police report. Your wife beats you? Why are you even married to her, dog? Like, the last thing I'd be doing is trying to talk to any other woman if my wife was beating me on a daily. I don't know. I might have just been going to the cops. Personally.
Told me where to meet him for coffee. Super creeped out and did not walk to my car alone for quite some time. Never figured out who it was or how they knew which vehicle was mine. Story
Yeah, he
12.
could've
He told me
helped
that he had read that book, The Game, the one that explains how to be a pickup artist. He told me in the same conversation in which he had been employing those strategies. I had been feeling guilty about not giving the guy a chance even though he creeped me out and I had no interest in him whatsoever. When he told me that, it all made sense. I noped right out of there. Look, if any of you are debating picking up one of these pickup artist kind of things, I will give you one piece of advice. Don't. Because, okay, let's break it down here. If your goal is a casual relationship, you want to hit it and quit it or whatever, or even just a hookup kind of friend, there are better ways to foster that kind of relationship than any pickup artist will tell you. And if you're looking to foster a real long-term relationship, yeah, never gonna work. Because pickup artists, you're presenting a fake sort of persona of yourself, never sustainable for a long-term relationship. Now, I get it, there's the argument of, oh, it's just to get your foot in the door. But surprise, surprise, it's a pretty big turn off when you talk to someone and you realize their actual personality completely different from what they used to first approach you. I'll tell you right now, the macho fake confidence or whatever will never match up to real confidence and just being comfortable with who you are. A little tip from me, have some interests and just like them. When you like things,
I think this guy has a lot of experience. He's yapping for a bit of...
and are just happy living and doing the things you like, you tend to attract other people. It's just true. This was a bit tangential, so best luck, everyone, and moving on. Story 13. I unalived your cat. He really did. He and my younger brother were classmates, and if not friends, neighborhood playmates. I was at a party my senior year of high school when he recognized me, and he started hitting on me. Problem was, I was a senior and he was in 8th grade. It's okay though, I was held back twice, so I'm really only 2 years younger than you. Then when he told me he recognized me from the old neighborhood...
Oh, you're an idiot. How do you get held back twice when you haven't even reached high school yet? That's not even the weirdest part of this story.
He came at me with the above zinger. He had gotten a BB gun for Christmas when he was in the 3rd grade and I was in the 5th. To test it out, he tried it on my childhood cat, who disappeared that Christmas break and never came home. He told me in great detail how red and vibrant my cat's blood was on the snow. No, he didn't get any, and yes, I did slap him across the face.
Maybe this nigga should stay in middle school. Because if he makes it to high school, he's shooting up the school. I can promise you that. If he is over here describing exactly how the death was and how the blood was and how nice it was, don't let him in high school. Maybe the teachers are just failing him just because they know that. Maybe he hasn't even failed a single class. I think his behavior is showing why he shouldn't be in high school. Like, you can't be doing that. And especially telling the person...
Story 14. I was out at an open mic music bar with a friend, and this guy sat at our table and started talking to us. He kept mentioning really dark things, just his type of humor, I guess. After he played a set, he came back and started talking about cutting my friend's stomach open to have another hole to play with. Later that night...
Oh yeah, nigga, you're done. You're finished. Oh my gosh. Why would you say that? Why? I'm going to cut it...
He was bragging about all the girls he sleeps with because he's a genuinely talented musician. I called him out and said he's 100% a virgin. He went wide-eyed and asked how I knew. I replied that he talked about eviscerating my friend and banging her guts. He left...
You can't admit to that, bro. Like, you get called out on it because you're already weird. You gotta be like, no, trust me. I get play, at least.
His number to call for a hookup. My friend did, and it was his parents' landline. I mean, they're dating now, so I guess it worked out for him. How? How? Story 15.
No story 15. I'm done. Because they just skipped over the fact that he said he was gonna cut open the girl's guts, and then, yeah, no, we're done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Love y'all. Peace.